Guys, guess what? A father from Maryland was mistakenly deported and sent to El Salvador under those heinous conditions we talked about last week.
All of the White House accounts, garbage. It's disgusting, and I can't believe we're living in this time. Like, it's going to be in the history books one day.
Just saying, guys, if you think that our loved ones are not next, I mean,
They already.
it could happen.
Yeah.
It could really happen, and that is really scary. There is reform for anybody that committed a crime under the age of 21, that they can't be maxed out more than 60 years in prison. This even includes people like Michael who were under the age of 21 when they committed the crime and have a death sentence. So if this passes, Mike could petition to get resentenced because his sentence was too harsh. Bunny Exo, who has the podcast Dumb Blonde, to hear these words come out of her mouth, I was just left so disappointed. The way she said it was so disgusting.
These prison wives are just crazy. Followed by, if they were in there for X amount of years, I get it. But if you met him in prison, something's wrong with you.
Like, you are more than your worst moments in life.
We all are.
We all are. Yet I'm Ash Trevino.
Yeah.
And we're going to fight. We're going to keep fighting. And we're going to keep pushing to change people's minds, educate people, and break the stigma.
This is for the prison wives. Still don't break, love don't fold. I'm still here, I'm still gold. Through the glass, through the gate.
Look at my face. Okay, I literally just got back. Like, I literally just got home maybe 20 minutes ago from the beach. And I put sunscreen on. As you can tell, I was wearing a hat. Because
I thought you were wearing sunglasses, honestly.
It's a hat and sunglasses. Yeah. So yeah, that makes sense why this didn't get any sun. And then and for those of y'all that are listening, it's like my cheek area, my nose, the tip of my nose down is bright red.
Maybe it'll even out.
I mean, I'm good like that where it'll turn bronze.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm very splotchy on my face, my
the
back.
Beach.
Huh?
But the beach, hello.
But the beach was wonderful. I needed it. But my back, I don't know if you can see my back. You can kind of see a little bit of it.
Oh.
It is like I'm like a lobster.
Hope you got
lobster. Aloe. So I'm
aloe?
here, sunburnt here.
You need
Hello,
aloe,
sunburnt here.
because-
I do. I have spray aloe, so I've been spraying it all over my body,
Good.
and it feels so wonderful. And then I get cold.
Yes.
So.
Oh my! It's like hell. It's like you're either hot or cold.
Yeah, like I'm hot right now, and then if I take my sweatshirt off, I'll be freezing.
Oh my gosh! As soon as I step into the sun, the way that my ghost skin attracts it immediately, I just turn into like I look like you after I stand in the sun for like an hour.
Really?
And it's like,
oh, this was all day.
It's not going to turn
bronze. It's just going to peel.
It's going to peel.
What SPF do you use? Like 100?
I'm supposed to use like the higher kind, but I don't.
Okay.
Because I'm always, in my head, I'm like, well, then how am I going to tan?
Yeah. Well, I'll say where I did put SPF, it's tan. Like it's not burnt. So clearly I needed to reapply on my face and I didn't. And then I didn't put anything on my back and I should have. So, oh, and there's my son. Come here.
Aw. He went to the beach
before we start.
Your son went to the beach with you?
The son went to the beach. He loves the beach. Okay. Gustavo's here, guys. He's here.
He always just looks like he has something really important to say.
He does. He looks like he reminds me of like Dan Rather. Like he's just looks at you and he looks like he's got really something awesome to say.
Yeah, he's like,
and it's nothing.
He's really reaching for it in his head.
Yeah.
He's adorable. Oh my gosh.
He's a mess. But I love him. Anyway, so I guess let's go ahead and get started with my sunburn. So and also, hey, when I go to the beach, because we don't have, just so you guys know, I'm holding a Whataburger Coke, a fountain drink. Sponsor us, Whataburger.
We don't
I
have
love
Whataburger.
I feel like I was a Texan in my past life. Just because I love Buc-ee's and I love Whataburger. And I got to stop and go to Whataburger on my way home. So
Yeah, the way that you do love Buc-ee's and Whataburger, like those are two very Texan things. Like you definitely were a Texan in your previous life.
I should have been like at the Alamo or something.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm like ride or die Texan.
Yeah, you're like you're literally Sandy Cheeks. Like 100%.
Done and done. All right, guys. Well, welcome to episode 52. It's your friendly host, sunburnt host, Gigi here. And I'm here with the beautiful and the lovely.
Your friendly, very pale, ghostly co-host Paige. Very always gonna be.
So we are here to talk about, we have a lot to talk about today, obviously. But before we get started, we're going to start off with our sponsor. I want to start off with Beyond Bars Imaging as our sponsor because Paige came out with something wonderful. She sent me a picture yesterday. And so for our YouTube peeps, I'm putting it up on the camera here. For our people that are listening to Spotify and Apple, please go to Beyond Bars Imaging and check this out. Look at me and Mycicle, and boy, does Mycicle have his nails on fleek. Thank you, Paige, for
And
that.
he got them painted too.
He got them painted, same purple as me, which I love. But Paige is offering caricatures. Like, you know, when you go out to like a new city and they have like artists on the street and you pay them like $20 to do your caricature. This is Beyond Bars' Imaging newest and latest and greatest thing that they're doing. It is $5, guys, only $5 to get a caricature of you and your loved one made for a picture. So if you are interested, please slide on into Paige's DMs on the Instagram. I think you did post some different caricatures that were made already.
Yeah, and I even I had one person that requested I change her husband into like a striped prison jumpsuit and her into a guard uniform, and then do the caricature. And I was like, oh, I love that. That's so.
Yes.
I'm like, now I want to do one of Joseph and I like that.
Yeah. Oh, my dog. Sorry. But yeah, definitely reach out to Paige to get your caricature. And if you don't want a caricature or you want just a regular picture, a blended picture, merged picture, please, please, please hit up Paige because she is a genius. She does it amazingly better than anybody I've ever seen do it. So slide on over to Beyond Bars Imaging on Instagram, Facebook, and of course, the Ticky Tacks. Mm-hmm. All right, Paige, are we ready to get 52 started?
Born ready.
All right, we ride at dawn. Here we go.
What up with that? What up with that?
All right, it's time for What Up With That legislation. Paige, what do you have?
Did you hear that prosecutors are seeking 7 years in prison for our buddy George Santos?
Really?
Yes, they are seeking up to 7 years in prison in federal prison for his fraud case. It says that prosecutors are seeking it more than 7 years for the disgraced former Congressman George Santos after he pleaded guilty to federal fraud and identity theft charges. He lied to his campaign staff, his supporters, the congressional colleagues, and the American public from his creation of his wholly fictitious biography to his callous theft of money from elderly and impaired donors. Santos' unrestrained greed and appetite for fame enabled him to exploit the very system by which we select our representatives. I think he even has a podcast now. So, you know, I mean, you know, I think it comes back to fuck around and find out.
Yeah, for sure. And, you know, these are people that have positions of power, that hold positions within the government, and
That we are supposed to trust.
correct.
And
Again, another reason I don't put politicians on a pedestal because, first of all, I'm going to say it for all sides. They're all corrupt and they're all greedy and they all want their back scratched. And this just shows you what happens behind closed doors and all of the fraud that, I mean, the fact that he was scamming elderly people.
didn't care.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can
Okay.
tell he's reaching out. He set up that whole podcast. His what is it called, like Pants on Fire. He's literally still running on this narrative of him and his lies to try to, I guess, probably scrape up any money he can before he gets pushed in there and he's fine. So,
Yeah.
you know, I think that he needs to pay his debt just like anyone else.
Yeah, because listen, if it was you or me, we'd be getting like 20
yeah.
years. Let's be real. You
He's
know what I
still out
mean?
here. Like, you know what I mean? We'd be
Yeah.
in there already.
Yeah, we wouldn't have bail, we wouldn't have
Yeah.
bond.
Mhm.
You know, we would get the hammer thrown down. So the fact that he's out here still, he might get maybe 7 years. I mean, you know, he may not even
Yeah.
get that.
Like,
So
even if he was, like, let's be real, he wouldn't even serve that full time if that's what he's given. But
yeah.
just interesting. And I was like, okay, well, I had been wondering what was going to happen with him because he kind of just did all of that. And then I still like saw him around and doing stuff. So I was like, you know, is anything ever going to come of this? And I wasn't going to be surprised if not, because that's just the way that our country is right now. But
Yeah.
there we go.
Well, good luck, George.
Yeah. Good luck, George.
Fuck. All right. Well, I have a couple of things. So I'm going to start with what I screenshot. I go through, and when I come across stuff, guys, I just totally screenshot it. So the first thing, just because we've been talking about the El Salvadorian prisons, guys, guess what? A father from Maryland was mistakenly deported and sent to El Salvador under those heinous conditions we talked about last week. And a judge ruled recently that he needs to be like let go and returned to Maryland as soon as fucking possible. Sorry, I didn't mean to cuss, but I mean, this is serious. So now we're mistakenly identifying people as, you know, immigrants or, you know, undocumented people here, and they're actually citizens, and they're actually like live within our neighborhoods. You know what I mean? And that is scary when you start rounding up people blindly without doing research. This is the stuff that happens. And guys, I'm not lying. This is from CNN.com. Like, this isn't stuff that I'm just making up.
There needs to be some kind of process for the people when they make these mistakes. Like, it shouldn't just be a thing that, you know, we keep hearing that, oh, there's this mistake, oh, there's this mistake. I haven't heard one story about them bringing any of these mistakes back home yet. And why is that not a priority? Because that is a problem.
And the fact that these people are like the ones that are posting on Twitter and X and whatever, oh, ASMR, like where they're handcuffing people.
X is a trash can.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
Like, oh, this is ASMR? This?
All of the White House accounts garbage. It's disgusting, and I can't believe we're living in this time. Like, it's going to be in the history books one day that like that shit was in on the public White House social media, and like they're going to be like, wow, people were okay with that. Like,
yeah,
just saying.
So, guys, listen, I'm all like, I come from an immigrant family. I believe immigrants are people first and foremost. They're human beings first. And I got crucified because I said that. You know, I understand that there is a process. There is a legal process to do that. My family came here legally. You know, I understand that, but people are human beings, and the way that they're being treated, and now we're treating our own people, our own citizens, like people from our states, Maryland, like this.
No one's safe.
Yeah, just saying, guys. If you think that our loved ones are not next, I mean,
they already.
It could happen. Yeah. It could really happen, and that is really scary. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm done.
Oh, okay. All right. The next thing I have is this is from Worth Rises. There are lots of congressional lawmakers that have their hands or get donations from the private prison industry. Not only are they majority, they are, I'm going to say this, the majority, they are Republican. There is one Democrat amongst these 8 that are actually like, they have documentation showing that they got donations from private prisons. A Republican, Rick Scott from Florida, who is a senator. David Joyce, Republican, Ohio, House Representative. Marsha Blackburn, Republican, Tennessee, Senator. Steve Scalise from my state, Republican from Louisiana, House Representative, I guess. He's the whip boy. He's the whipping boy. Mark Green, Republican, Tennessee, House. Henry Cuellar, Democrat, Texas, House. Roger Marshall, Republican, Kansas, House. Mark Amadell, Republican, Nevada, in the House. And every one of these lawmakers above voted in favor of the Laken-Riley Act as well.
We're gonna need to put that graphic, that beautiful graphic that they.
Yeah, I'm just going to show it real quick. But we're
gonna
definitely
need
going to have it
Jen
up.
to put that over top of us.
Can put that in. Fairy godmother.
You need to see, not just hear these people's names. You need to see their faces and recognize them when you see them again.
Yes.
We're holding all these people accountable.
Absolutely. I do have an update on the Virginia thing that I talked about with the Safety Coalition and the probation and parole. It was adopted by the governor, and it amends probation incentive legislation. So I guess their push is going in the right direction. All these people coming together, and we talked about it, like police, representatives, people within the community on both sides of criminal justice came together. And so it's a huge moment for Virginia, and it's about probation reform and criminal justice reform and giving more second chances. So congratulations for that victory. They did pass that probation reform. So this is a huge win for justice, safety, and second chances. So, I'm just making sure. So this is why it matters, and this is all from Reform, which is a nonprofit. If you want to follow them on Insta, give them a follow. It says this is a huge step forward for 53,000 Virginians impacted by probation. The coalition will continue to fight for probation incentive, the system that rewards positive behavior and helps individuals get back on track. All right, so congrats to Virginia with probation reform. The next thing I have is in Louisiana, and I know I said I'm not going to share stuff, but this is a very important bill coming out. It is House Bill HB 68, and this is a bill that will give a second look at resentencing for anyone that has the death penalty and LWOP. Now, I'm going to say this because it's Louisiana. You have to be you can't get your hopes up on this because there is reform for anybody that committed a crime under the age of 21, that they can't be maxed out more than 60 years in prison. And this even includes people like Michael who were under the age of 21 when they committed the crime and have a death sentence. So if this passes, Mike could petition to get resentenced because his sentence was too harsh. But
Like that ever?
Wait, what?
Have they ever even had something like that proposed?
Not since I've been in this as a prison wife.
Mm-hmm.
Now, could have happened when I first got into this life, maybe, because I wasn't following it like I do now. But this is a major bill that could help take out LWOP, people with LWOP sentencing, get them resentenced with like years instead of life without parole, possibility of parole or probation. And then also death penalty cases. Because I will say this, the majority of the people on death row in Louisiana committed their crime under the age of 21. So this could impact a lot of people. However, the little asterisk star at the bottom of this is, please remember, this is Louisiana. And unfortunately, the leadership that we have in this state and the people that are in control of these bills getting forward, aka Satan's other bride, Debbie Villio, who sits on the Committee for Criminal Justice, probably will not push for this bill because I guarantee her and everybody else that is for packing up our prisons with lots of people with LWOP have their hands in prison enterprises or private prison stock or something. So I'm following it. I will keep you guys updated on. This is a huge bill that could change and impact a lot of people. And I think that it's worth following. For me personally, for a lot of people in Louisiana, I know a lot of my RHOA ladies are probably excited about this bill as well. But at the same time, you have to be cautiously careful of how much faith you put into it, because it is Louisiana, sadly. So, but I am staying on top of it. I'm not going to pretend like it's going to pass, because I don't have hope that it will, but I will follow it for you guys because it is such a huge bill. All right, that's all I have for.
Sounds similar to the one that's going through the ringer right now in California with the people under 25, kind of. So we're hopeful of that.
And I'm hopeful that a lot more states pick this up. I know Massachusetts passed something saying you can't get LWOP if you were under 21 at the time of the crime. So there's a lot of legislation with the age, the criminal age thing. And then our state just told FU to Landry because his 4 amendments did not pass. And one of those amendments was putting the children in prisons, like locking up 12-year-olds at Angola. Okay? The whole state came together and said, hell no. So I think there's more, like it's becoming more of a conversation thing where people are getting out and talking. Well, your mind, your brain, the science is there. We need to follow that. And you still have dipshits that I see post on Facebook. Well, if you do the crime, if you're going to act and do adult shit, you should get adult punishments. No, that was your child. You would not say that. You would be fighting the other direction. Just
demographics matter, and it's just crazy the way people blatantly grace over them as if they don't. But if you're a child and you grow up in one area of the country versus another one, that absolutely impacts how you grow up and how you're raised and what is around you, what is normal to you, and those are not things that should be just dismissed just Correct. Because you might be familiar with this privileged way of life, or thank goodness that you were.
Yeah, God forbid anything ever happened to your family members. God forbid. If your family member drives drunk one night and kills somebody, they go to jail. God forbid. You know what I mean? I'm sorry. I get worked up. I'm just saying, people speak without ever having any idea of what they're talking about. They've never had any experience with it, and they've been blessed to have a privileged life, to not have to worry about that, and to make those blanket, ruthless comments like that, for sure.
Correct.
All right, are we ready for some mean tweets? Because I know we've got some.
Oh, yeah, we always get them.
Here we go. All right. Paige, what do you have one? Because I got a few.
Why don't the ones that are like on the top of my radar right now have to do with something that we're talking about later. So let's just skip mine and go over yours.
Okay, well, I sent this to you this past week. This was on one of our shorts on YouTube about visitation. And I obviously took it and I said, just in case you guys didn't know, Prison Wives, this person, Glaz Delusion, decided to let us know a little something about being married to a man in prison. So this was a comment left under our short. I'm showing our viewers. It's still there. Glaz Delusion said, if you married a man who's in prison, then congrats, because you're getting scammed out of everything. Plus, he's can't talk today. Plus, he's talking to you out of pure boredom. Okay, Glaz Delusion. Clearly, you had a little situation here, honeys, but don't project.
Yeah, what did I say back to that? Do you remember?
Something like, should I put money on your books? Because it sounds like you would take into the cleaners or something.
Do you want me to put money on your books too, girl?
Yeah.
Like, worry about yourself.
Yeah. So just some of the hate that we're getting. And then also I saved a short but sweet mean tweet from a gentleman who decided to... Where is it? Oh my God, I can't find it. Well, it was something along the lines of, it was one of our videos and you were talking and he said, laugh out. His name was Thomas something, and he said something along the lines of, "Oh, here it is." This was the one about should prison wives be active in criminal justice reform and push for criminal justice reform. Thomas Ruther 878 said, "Laugh out loud. The term prison wife."
Yeah, I didn't respond to that because I just didn't even know what to say, because I'm like, I actually kind of agree with you, because if you listen to our pod, we talk about that, but I just didn't even want to play ball with
Well,
someone
I'm
who, like,
assuming,
didn't understand what he was trying to get at with that point.
yeah. Well, I took it as something negative because he's laughing out loud and laughing at us, basically. That's what I took it as. So,
It's not my job to decipher his short, incomplete sentences. So
yeah.
unless he wants to have a full thought, then I'll respond. But until then, no.
Well, so you said you're saving yours for when we get into our discussion?
It's I can talk about it then, but I
Okay.
don't have specific ones saved.
Okay. All right. Well, are we ready to dive into our main topic of the day? I'm going to let you, I know you've got a lot to say about this,
I do.
and I am going to just chime in when I can. Because I know the way you feel when you've told me how you felt about everything, I will, I'll add in things about how I feel about this person. Look, she made notes, y'all. I will add how I feel about this person.
Listened.
Yes. And Paige even did the research, went into the transcript, everything. So I'm going to let her start, and I'm just going to chime in on this.
Before I go on the one that really will probably upset me the most, I have two spotlights. I thought we were only going to have one of these spotlights this week to touch on, but here we are. Anyone who follows me on Instagram probably saw one of my kind of vague posts that I posted this morning on my story that was just talking about how I'm kind of sick and tired of these people with these big platforms that feel the need to either insert themselves into the prison community or talk on it and not be educated. Like, I'm just so tired of it. Like, as a person with a platform, I think that's something that you need to accept. That if you're going to broadly speak on things, even if you have a podcast, like, if you make a mistake or if you speak out of character, like, that's your job to come back there and say that then. Like, we've done that several times where we've spoken wrongly about things or said, like, you know what I mean? Like, I know I'm not going to be right all the time, and I know I'm going to say things wrong. That's a podcast, is what it is. But, like, when you are affecting people, a broad range of people, and it's the people that a lot of the people that you cater your niche towards,
Yeah.
I have a problem with that, for sure. So, with no further ado, I'm just kidding. And I don't even want to be angry about it. My anger comes from a place of being upset. Not like I'm like, oh, I want to fight. You know what I mean? I'm
No, just
upset.
disappointed.
Yeah,
Disappointed. Yeah.
disappointed. I'm just like, and that's why you don't put expectations on people or celebrities or people with platforms, because they're not gonna live up to them, and it's just kind of disappointing when that happens. So I have like a kind of mini story time to start this out with. As you guys know, we have our email on the pod page on all of our socials, where people can reach out to us if they want to do a collab or if they're interested in talking with us or being on the pod. We have people reach out on that in a decent amount of times, and we always respond. And we actually got a really crazy email about 2 weeks ago. It was the PR team for the show Love After Lockup, which some of you guys may be familiar with. If you are, you probably share a lot of the same feelings that we have for that show. As you know, they like to choose the couples where there's drama and there's a story that they can, exploit and follow. And they want viewers. That's the point of their show. You know what I mean? I think that they've made that clear from the beginning since they made
Yeah,
it.
and I was gonna say a lot of the time, some of the couples even said after filming
Yes,
that they made drama happen because they needed it
correct.
because their relationship was just too good. Like they had such a good, healthy relationship that they needed to add
Yep.
drama into the mix.
They had to add fights. They had to add narratives to make it fit well because you know who's going to watch a prison show without drama or whatever. So we were very shocked when the PR team for Love After Lockup, it was really them and it was WeTV was CC'd. And at first I read through the email. At first I was like, why are they you know, because we've
Are we
talked
getting
about it.
punked? Are we
Yeah.
being punked right
Are
now?
we getting punked or are they like what's going on? Because we have talked not negatively, we've just used our voices to speak about how we feel about this show on here often. And you know, them kind of reaching out and saying that they wanted to have their producer, this is what they said, they wanted to have their producers come on our show and talk about their experiences and the things that they have witnessed and within the system and the relationships and stuff. And you know what, I didn't even know what to say to that. You want to come on our show where we cater to reform and people who have a loved one in prison, and you want to talk about how you exploit us? Have you
Yeah.
even listened to our podcast?
Yeah, probably no.
You haven't. You have
Yeah,
like
clearly.
we just saw Prison Wife, and you guys were like, "Oh, maybe we can send our producers over here, and maybe we can pick up some new people for next season." You know what I mean? Like it's just kind
Well,
of
and
insane.
didn't you? Can I ask this? Didn't you like help promote like casting for that?
Not really. So one of their casting directors one time had messaged me and asked if I could like post a thing, and that's one thing I did. And I, you know what I mean. I even when I posted it, I go, you know, please be aware that you know these shows tend to
Exploit.
be
Yeah,
exploitative and aren't
and
always,
play
you
into
know,
stereotypes, basically.
yes. So it was crazy when we got this email from them, and not only that, but they didn't cater the email to us in any means. It was definitely a promotional email that they sent to probably other podcasts and stuff, saying like all of the things that they've done. Like they heavily emphasized the show's success and the longevity and how it's so popular, and they suggested that they may be interested in like, you know, engaging with our platform to talk about the conversation behind like ethics and how they portray certain things. And you know, immediately I'm like, I don't think that that's true, or else this wouldn't be worded as a PR email. You know,
Yeah.
you'd have a little bit more humanity there. um, they didn't acknowledge our mission or anything about our pod, so that's how I also knew that they didn't listen, because they don't, you know, we talk about these complex relationships and all of these people that use our relationships to exploit themselves and get rich and build a series and create more series on top of those series. That's another thing they included in that email. They were like, we had all of these spin-offs too that are successful. Like,
Yeah.
congrats, you have found a bunch of different ways to exploit us. um, I, it just had the complete potential to be a one-sided conversation, and for them it was insulting for them to reach out and almost use our platform as a way to maybe get more people for
To
their
watch their show.
show, and not even listening to like what we do.
Yeah.
And you know, guys, it was really hard, but Gigi and I talked, and I was like, you know, although it would be interesting, it would be an experience to have producers on for the show and hear about the things that they did, I had questions. So I responded with a few questions, just asking, you know, what kind of would be the basis of like the questions, and then I asked if they were familiar with our podcast and our mission statement and what we do, and if they're familiar, you know, what I think I even said, what kind of ways do you guys plan to, you know, humanize humans
Yes.
moving
Yeah.
forward in your show, because that's something that we really think needs to happen. And do you think that we ever got even an email back or any kind of acknowledgement?
It was like Casper, the not friendly ghost.
It was like me.
Yeah. Stop.
It was
It was
crickets.
I mean, just straight up ghosted. Like no response,
None.
no thank you for your time,
Nothing.
nothing.
Not even something like we appreciate like you know what I mean? They can't even admit like
Well, I mean, listen, I mean, we did say like, typically y'all have a track record of exploiting prison
correct.
relationships and playing into the stereotypes that, our podcast tries to break. And so I think they couldn't come back from that because what you said in the response, even though your email was very professional, very, asking questions like, how would this align to our mission? As prison wives who try to break the stigma of,
Your show.
society, yeah, and what your show portrays. And they couldn't even do that. They couldn't even come back with, well, this is something that we would love to sit down and talk to you about if you have time. Like,
Yeah.
zip,
I
nada.
I it just, you know, I would have used it if they would have responded back, and I wouldn't have been like totally like direct the whole time. I would have used it as like an opportunity to like, directly have a conversation with them and
Mhm.
ask about their representation in media today. But it just seems like they just wanted to use our platform as something to promote themselves instead of being any kind of accountable for a lot of the atmosphere that they've created around prison
Yeah.
relationships.
Yeah.
So just wanted to share that little story time with you guys and say hi, love after lockup, and just I guess keep
We're still
doing your
waiting.
thing,
We're
exploiting.
waiting. We're waiting to hear back from you guys if you
They
have a
know, guys.
retort.
Just they know. That's one thing you can at least take from this story time. They
Mhm.
know that they are.
Yeah. They clearly can't say that they couldn't even defend themselves saying, "Well, no, that's not what we do. Or let's try to have a conversation about it and let's see where we can go with it." That wasn't even part of their repertoire,
I would have
you
been
know.
down to listen
Yeah.
too.
Oh, yeah, me too. And even when I got the email, I was kind of like low key, I was excited,
No?
and then I also thought, is this going to be good? Like, would this be something that we could stand up and do? Like, actually sit here and interview Love After Lockup people and say, yeah, we support this.
Not even
I
people, but
couldn't.
the producers who
Hmm.
create the entire narrative of the show. So it's like, who would we be to have these people on our platform when they are the ones responsible for a lot of this? Like,
Yeah.
of course, there is some drama with prison relationships. Hi, there's drama with all relationships, okay?
Yeah.
So until you want to make some kind of show about people coming back from being down and having these terrible life sentences and still making something of their life, you can just stay gone out of my inbox. Thank you.
Shoo shoo. But I'll gladly listen to whatever what retort you want to give.
Yeah, respond.
Love
I'm
After
here.
Lockup. Yeah. We're here to have the conversations. So
That's it. I'm done with that.
no, well, you got more.
I am.
Should I? Can I introduce it at least, or did you want to introduce it?
As long as you don't touch on anything I wanted to say.
No, I'm just gonna share my initial thoughts of this person.
Okay, but you have to lay the base for what it is, or what we're talking about.
Okay. Let me know if I'm not doing it right. I will try my darndest.
I have faith in you.
Okay. All right. So obviously, Paige, you can tell me when this actual clip, did it come out today or did it come out yesterday?
It was from the podcast 2 days ago.
2 days ago. Okay. So 2 days ago, and we're
Or
recording Friday.
Yeah.
Friday. The 4th of April. Bunny Exo, who has the podcast Dumb Blonde. And let me just say this before I get into what she said on the podcast, because I'm sure some of you already at this point know. I have a dream. I mean, my dream was for us to be on her podcast
You love
talking
her.
about this.
You not that
I am
like
obsessed
but
with
I know
her.
you love her.
And it sucks because I'm very disappointed. I'm very disappointed because I do adore her. I love her journey. I love her relationship. I love what she stood for. I mean, she did. She takes a lot of crap from a lot of people and just brushes it off. And what an icon, because I look up, like, when we get hateful shit, when we get hate messages on our Instagram or on our TikTok or on YouTube, I'm like, what would Bunny do? And Bunny wouldn't give these people two ounces of her time. And she just keeps rolling, and she's unapologetically her, which is beautiful as a female to me. Like, she doesn't take shit from anybody. So I have the utmost respect for her, and I had her on this pedestal of females to look up to, because she's not your traditional Stepford wife. I mean, she's somebody that has a rough past, that, changed her whole life and met a beautiful human being of a man that she fell in love with, and they have a beautiful relationship, a healthy, stable relationship. And to hear these words come out of her mouth 2 days ago, I was just left so disappointed, because I had a dream that Paige and I were actually on Dumb Blonde having these conversations with her. So I'm going to let Paige
Now you know what
get
she
into
feels
it.
about it.
And now I know how she really feels about people
Yeah.
like me.
Yes.
Now I know how she really feels about people like me. And the way she said it was so disgusting. And part of me is like, but why, Bunny? Why would you say that? Like, I'm a human being. My husband's a human being. Like, it's just so disappointing and so disheartening to hear it come from somebody like that.
She has such a big platform with so many women listeners, and such a great opportunity to, like, put these terrible generalizations out, and to just continue to promote them, and continue to put out clips of it, and then create comment sections of just mean girls. You are literally, like, you're empowering these people to continue to belittle us and talk down to us simply because someone that we love is in prison. Do you understand?
Yeah.
You have to think about the things you say. Like,
and listen, I know it's her podcast. She can say whatever she wants, and that's fine. It's just, she is an influence. I mean, granted, we are a humble podcast. We are a humble podcast, whereas her podcast is probably in the top 10. You know what I mean? Like, she reaches millions and millions of people, and she's
people
an
listen,
influencer.
and people care about her opinion.
Yeah.
Whether she wants to accept that or not, you are an influence and a voice, and people are going to follow after what you do. And just simply dismissing us and using harmful language about anyone in the prison community, you are contributing to that. And especially with everything that your husband does, it's
and he was formerly incarcerated himself.
Yeah, but that would be fine for her under her generalization, because she would have been with him before. So she's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. You want to tell them what
she said? I've been rambling. So just to kind of give everyone a basis. So on Bunny's podcast that came out on the 4th of April, she basically was talking about a few different prison-related things. Like, I think one of them was like Tiger King. I heard a clip of the pod, so I was like, I want to pull up the whole pod, and I want to see the transcript, because that's a whole nother thing that people do with our pod. Like, they'll hear a clip of it, and then they'll, like, go on this rant, and it's a lot of time just clipped out of context, or people aren't taking it all in. So when I heard this clip originally, I wanted to give her benefit of the doubt, and I'm like, let me listen to this episode. Maybe this was clipped out of context, or maybe, I don't know. This clip that she posted on her own page, the very first thing that comes out of her mouth when you're scrolling and it pops up is, "These prison wives are just crazy." Followed by, if they were in there for X amount of years, I get it. But if you met him in prison, something's wrong with you.
Why can't you get a guy out here? That's basically, I'm paraphrasing, but
she said something's wrong with you, period.
Yeah.
And then
the fact that you can't get a guy out here
because he's not available at all times. You don't want, like I'm sorry, because that's what we're weighing men's, like, that's what makes you better. your availability to someone. Like, it's insane. So I broke down a lot of these things that were said in this clip, in this podcast, just because it's important to me. And I think the reason that we made this podcast is to defeat these stereotypes. And I would be ridiculous to let something like this blow over when all it's going to do is add on to everything that we all deal with and will be continued to look at as not as people, but as this image that they like to paint.
Yeah, the subhuman group of people,
Yes.
basically.
So what I have written down here about her podcast is just the broad generalizations and the harmful language. That's the main thing here that really upset me. Of course, the quote I gave that really just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. The prison wives are just crazy. The blanket statement. I can't, the whole, how dare you even say that? You know what I mean? Like, do you think every prison wife is Ashley Trevino? Because if so,
Yeah.
what?
And can we just say that real quick before you get further, because you brought that up?
Yeah.
The only thing that they mentioned in the realm of prison wife, believe it or
her.
not, was Ashley fucking Trevino.
Yeah.
The worst of the worst kind of crazy shit that you could bring up. Like, really? Do not compare me to Ashley Trevino. Are you kidding me? Because that will piss me the off.
That's what that we know that though. That's how
Yeah.
she said that she looks at us. And
Yes.
doing that is just, you're stigmatizing us and you're dismissing us. You're saying our relationships aren't real, aren't valid because they don't fall under what we are crazy to you. Like,
And our husbands aren't deserving of love, basically, is what you're saying.
and I just want you to know that using this language fuels those stereotypes. And it makes it way harder for people like us. And doing that dismisses all of our lived experiences. And it's something that you need to think about.
Yeah.
The next quote that I wrote down was, if you were with a man for X years before prison, I get it. But if you met him in prison, something is wrong with you. You know, this false hierarchy of legitimate relationships, where did this get created even, first off? Because since when is anything conventional in the year 2025? And why do I need to be held to anyone's standards? You know what I mean? And why are people concerned about my relationship? And why does that determine my worth and my sanity?
Can I just say this?
Yes.
The amount of judgment that she gets for being with Jelly Roll,
Yes.
you're going to tell me that I am disgusting human being because I choose to love somebody that has a heart, that has a soul, that is a beautiful human being. And just because he's in prison, something's wrong with me? Mm-hmm. Out of all the hate that you get for your relationship.
Yes.
I just don't understand. It's like the hypocrisy is wild here.
I feel bad for the kids, embarrassing and gross. That kind of judgment and voicing it on your public platform is more harmful than anything, because not all kids are in situations like Ashley Trevino's kids, okay? Like, I know plenty kids that go to prison visits that beg their parents to go to prison visits. Like, not every prison, like, they're not bringing their kids there. And a lot of times the kids want to be there. And it's like, unless you know what is going on with a specific person or a situation, who are you to speak on it?
And Bunny, I'm going to challenge you. I mean, I know she's probably never going to listen to this,
yeah.
but I would challenge you to even if you're not religious, because I'm not really religious anymore, but there's a program called God Behind Bars. They go in, they sing, they do revival, they do baptisms. They also bring incarcerated families and their children together. And to watch those,
I know.
To watch those children run to their parents and on a red carpet is so beautiful. And you're saying that we're all like Ashley Trevino and terrorizing our children. Yeah. Please go watch that and educate yourself before you start running your mouth, because, I just had so much respect for you. Oh my God.
I just, like, how dare you be in that space and create these stigmas that just create more shame in a space where support is needed and love and caring and like, like literally like creating like a foundation and helping kids, like, you know what I mean? Like, why are you standing on your platform all with your chest being like, this is gross and embarrassing? Like, a lot of these kids are going to grow up and hear you say these things.
Can you imagine? I mean, the amount of, what is it, like almost 9 to 10 million children in America have a parent that's
That's not their choice.
incarcerated, and
That's
50
not,
million family members. I mean, let's be real. We are not Ashley Trevino. I'm sorry,
no.
Bunny, we're not.
And if you really think that, then I don't, my biggest tiff beyond all of those things, my biggest question that I wrote down here, that I really, with all of this, upsets me. How can your husband support incarcerated men and prison reform, yet you dismiss the humanity of people who love those same men? So your husband goes on stage and performs for all of these people that are in prison, or goes into prisons and does
Yeah.
performances. Are you going to come out on stage after he's done and say, just so you know, none of you deserve love? All
Your
right?
wife is a piece of
Thank you.
trash. She's crazy.
Yeah, all of you, all of your wives out there, if you're trying to find love, they're all crazy. Like, I don't get the inconsistency. How can you, you want to benefit from reform and criminal justice reform when it helps you? You know what I mean? When it's
Mm-hmm.
profitable. It's
Yeah.
all performative.
Yeah.
And I just can't stand it. You want to distance yourself whenever it fits the social norms or whatever story. And, I don't even want to go there, but for you to like, what about that whole Wade Wilson stuff when you wanted to like you were messaging him and calling him to get you on the show? Like, you know what I mean? Like, just even your sheer curiosity in that. And then I just ask you to open your mind, and I ask you to really think before you say things that are damaging. Your voice has an impact, Bunny. Like, your husband is a very big figure in this space, and it seems like he cares and he
Yeah.
wants to make changes and help these men. But
And he
when
clearly
you're out
believed.
here promoting this opposite message,
Yeah.
it kind of just makes me question not just you but him too. Like, is it all performative? Like, is this all like,
Is this
what?
how y'all both really feel?
Yes, because clearly this is how you feel.
And listen, like, I'm the biggest supporter of Jelly Roll. We support him on the pod. Like, when he brought incarcerated individuals on stage to perform with him on stage
How
at
about
an arena.
how about the firefighters when they all sure as hell had their phones out to make TikToks and all their social media videos to show that they brought in firefighters, but hey, after the TikToks were done, did you go grab the mic and say, none of you deserve love and any woman who loves you is crazy? Goodbye. Thank you for coming to the
Yeah.
concert.
Yeah. I just, we've shared his stuff on our social media, and like I said, we're humble people. We're not stars. We're not
No.
mega million, not million followers. I mean,
No.
we're humble people, and we obviously created this to break the stigma. I mean, listen, I know stigma's there and it's hard. It's hard to break it. But we're here to educate and break the idea that prison wives are desperate, that prison wives are crazy, that prison wives are messed up in the head, that guys in prison don't deserve a second chance and guys in prison don't deserve love and all this stuff. All that
Blanket statements,
stupid
generalizations.
rhetoric. Yeah. And here you have a couple who has a formerly incarcerated person who knows what it's like to be incarcerated and is trying to help the incarcerated community through therapeutic music, which is a beautiful thing. And then you have his wife saying, yeah, all prison wives are crazy. And if they're with somebody, if they're MWI, which is met while incarcerated, you're basically fucked up in the head. Let's just put it that way. Something's wrong with you.
I would
Yeah.
love for that to be elaborated on. What do you mean?
What's wrong with me? Please
Can
psychoanalyze me.
you diagnose me?
Yeah. I'll wait.
Just so fucking upsetting, man. Like I don't ever hold celebrities on pedestals for this reason, but I think what really upsets me and triggers me is the people that half step into this space and act like they are supportive of like reform and the good things, and then no, they're actually just grown bullies with masks on, I guess,
Yeah.
that think something's wrong with us.
And now you're infusing the idea that prison wives are just bad people to people that,
Already
could have
think that.
thought. Yeah. Well, it's not even that. People that might be like, oh, well, I never really thought about it. So,
Well, but
now they're
but
like,
mind
oh,
you,
well, Bunny said they're crazy. So, I
but
mean, she
Bunny
knows
said
what she's talking about.
and
You
we
know
were
what I
already
mean?
getting that in the comments afterwards because I literally didn't even comment anything mean on the tweet on the TikTok. I literally was just like, this is really disappointing, and I literally
Yeah.
just said like, make sure you're careful to not judge or cast stones. And the amount of people replying and telling me to shut up or get over it or stop being sensitive, like this is what yeah, this
You're
is what's gonna
creating.
happen when you
Yeah.
spout that. It's hate. It's
Yep.
hateful rhetoric that you're spouting, and you are giving your comment section a place for it to feed and build. And with how terrible and shitty our fucking country is right now, is that really what we need?
Yeah.
Because it's already shitty everywhere.
It's already enough hate to go around. We're
We
hating
need more,
all
I guess.
marginalized people at this point. So now you're just adding prison wives and throwing them under the bus.
I probably forgot things I wanted to say, but I don't understand how like you can have a husband who is so involved with all of these things and be so disconnected yourself.
Yeah.
Like, do you guys even talk about reform or things? Or like, do you understand there are good people in prison? Like, do you know that? Like, has she gone to these prison visits that Jelly Roll goes? Like, is she familiar? Like, obviously she's not, because
Yeah.
she doesn't know, or she's just playing the role or whatever I don't fucking know, for social media. But like, I challenge you to do that. Go into prison. Meet these men, especially these men with these long dates that aren't coming out,
Yeah.
and tell me if something's wrong with us.
I feel like my parents, when how like when your parents like say,
Yes, not mad.
I'm not mad at you. I'm just really like, it's even worse. Like, it's even
Yes.
worse. I'm just really disappointed in you.
Yep.
That's how I feel with Bunny, because I follow her. I adore her. I think she's so unique, and so she just seemed like a very beautiful person inside and out, and how much she's transformed her life and got sober, and all these things that it takes a lot of courage to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just heartbroken that she would say that about you, that she would say that about me, that she would say that about
All of our friends.
most of our listeners. I mean, if you're not MBI, then you are a lunatic and you need to go get your head checked. Clearly, that's what she's saying. And that is just so, it breaks my heart. It really does. I don't know if you can see it. If you're on YouTube, you can probably see, I wear my heart on my sleeve. And I'm just like, when Paige sent me that today, and I'm just like, man, I was like, fuck. That hurts.
I had a lot of people send it to me too, and that's how you like people that like followed her too, that were just like, "What the fuck? Did you see this?" And I was just like,
Yeah.
not what I expected when I opened it.
Yeah, when you sent it to me, I was like, ooh, it's Bunny. Maybe this is our chance. I got all excited, and then I
Maybe she'll
listened
wanna
to
talk
it, and
to
I was
us.
just like,
Now she
meow.
definitely doesn't want to talk to us. She's probably like, "Go fuck yourself."
Well, I was like, well, maybe this will inspire a conversation. I mean,
I would love to talk. I would love to talk with her about, and not have it be like, I don't even want it to be confrontational. I just want her to understand that, like, even getting her to understand that these men that are behind these walls, and especially with these long sentences, that made mistakes or something happened at a young age before their brain was developed, like, these people are more than that. And as soon as she understands that, I feel like she could maybe even help other people understand that.
And I was just thinking, as somebody, because I read her comments on her pictures and her posts on Instagram and on TikTok. And I'm like, some of the comments she gets are so hateful. Like they're hating on her because she's wearing a bikini. They're hating on her because she dresses like this. They say these negative things about her, and I'm just thinking like, and she handles it with such grace, and she doesn't even give it the time. Like she's like, I'm a Ferrari. Why would I cover it up? You know what I mean? Like, why would I just leave my Ferrari sitting in the garage?
Mm-hmm.
I have a body, and like, if I had her body, I would be
Period. If I
rocking
had a
that shit
body, I would
too.
too.
You
Period.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, she's beautiful. She's gorgeous.
Yeah.
And I just think like for you to hate on somebody when you understand what that feels like, and for you to kick a dog when it's down, like I'm sure she got a lot of hate for, being a drug addict or, being an alcoholic or whatever she was. I know she's sober, so I'm assuming it's one of those. To have a substance abuse problem and somebody kick you, when you're down, you're so much more, Bunny. You're so much more than just that. You know that. I know that. Like you are more than your worst moments in life.
We all are.
We all are. Yet I'm Ash Trevino.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm an inmate hopper, apparently, because I've been committed to my husband for 9 years. I'm
Something's
an
wrong
inmate
with you.
hopper? Really?
We've been diagnosed.
Man, what is the fucking world coming to? God, it just,
Yeah, it's just.
it just hurts my heart so bad.
I know.
I hope
It's
she
really,
understands that.
and that's why I'm like sweating as I'm talking about it right now because it like upsets me, and I'm just like, and it just sucks. But at least we have this space, like talking it out like this. Even I know she'll never hear it. Like it makes me feel better, and
Yeah.
it makes me feel better to know that like
You're not alone in these feelings.
yes, and like anyone else that hears that, like if they hear us, like I don't want anyone else to hear it and be like, oh my god, like I was personally offended when I listened to it because at first the very first thing is these prison wives are crazy and something's wrong with you. So I'm like, those are things that we get thrown out by fucking haters with anonymous profiles. Okay, so to hear it from her was kind of like a slap in the face.
Correct. Especially because her and her husband stand on helping incarcerated individuals through music,
Heavily.
through programs, through whatever.
They're very
Like you have
loud
your
about
hand in the criminal justice reform community, whether you know that or not, you do. And we support you guys going into these prisons,
awesome.
having concerts, bringing these people on stage and celebrating them, and your husband winning awards and talking about it on stage when he wins an award. Like, look at me, I was incarcerated, I was homeless, and look what I can do. Like, I understand that the two of you are two separate entities. I understand that, but how can you sit here and say these things when your
are
husband's
people.
doing all this stuff to help incarcerated individuals?
It tells me I think she would benefit from getting involved with some of the things that he does just to see that these are people in there, because I think that she does. I mean, clearly if we're being talked about and like she probably thinks little of them too.
Yeah.
So why don't you go meet a few? Seriously, not even trying to like seriously do it.
No, I agree with you. I'm just befuddled with hurt and disappointment.
Yeah, I don't even want to open TikTok because I'm sure I have a bunch more hate comments from her listeners and people that are telling. Literally, there was one girl that was going back and forth with me that was like, "He's writing. Your man is probably writing other girls," and then it was like another one that was, "Well, I'm gonna go home and go to sleep in bed with my husband." Blah blah blah. This is what you created, Bunny. Good job. Your comment section is a safe space for that. So thank you.
It's a hate space now, apparently. Yeah.
That's it. I'm done. I don't really have anything else to say.
Well, I will say this. Our listeners, our wallers, our loves of our lives, we would love to hear your thoughts on this. And we encourage you to go look at the clip or listen to the episode or
Yeah, it's only 30 minutes.
and we're here, we're here to talk it through with you guys because I know I'm very upset. I know Paige is very upset, and I'm sure a lot of you will feel the same way.
A lot of them, a lot of people that I think really like and care about her are really upset. So
this person included in that, very upset, very heartbroken. Bunny, I still want to be on your podcast. I just want to talk to you about this, honey. I really do.
I do. I would love to help her understand.
Yeah.
Because that would help. That would help please, then maybe we can, your audience can humanize these people.
I think the damage has been done, though.
Oh, for sure.
The
And
damage
that's
has
what gets
been
the
done.
clicks, and that's why it was made into a clip. I get it.
Yeah. Yeah. And we're here to undo as much as we can, even though we're just a little humble podcast. That's our mission, is to bring this to light and talk about it. And that's our whole point. And I'm glad we discussed this. It sucks.
We are
It
just a
sucks
little.
that this is the stuff we have to discuss, but this is why we created this to begin with.
We're just a little podcast, but the producers of Love After Lockup don't want to fight me on a recorded. So I guess I'm like,
I would not want to mess with you after that email.
I wasn't. The best part is that it wasn't even like really.
It wasn't aggressive at all. It was just like,
okay. Have you even listened to the pod?
Are we on the same page here? Are we on the same page here?
I'm like, you guys are actively exploiting people on my feed.
Yeah.
Every day. Anyway,
All
that's
right,
it. I'm
well,
sweating from being.
Me too. It
all worked up.
makes you hot. I know.
Yeah.
I'm the same way. All right. Well, are we ready for?
Yes.
I think Florida Fred is going to give us a phone call.
I am ready.
All right.
Hello, this is a prepaid collect call from
Your boy Fred.
an inmate at Florida Correctional Institution.
Oh, we must be crazy because we love Florida Fred.
Something.
Sorry, I just had to dig.
Something's wrong with you.
Something's wrong with me because I love Florida Fred.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Florida Fred is in the building, and that means we have time for your questions, comments, and speaky pipes. Paige, do you want to get us started with the questions we have?
Yes, the first question we have from the lovely Addie, who also is a crazy prison wife.
Mm-hmm.
How can incarcerated loved ones help their family, friends on the outside? It's actually a really great question because that's a conversation Joseph and I have all the time about, because he's always like, how can I help you? How can I do things that, how can I benefit you? Because he makes cents on the hour, so he can send me maybe a paycheck every once in a while, but I also don't want to take his money that he works for. And it's hard because I think a lot of times when people think about help, they think monetary, but it's a lot of things. It's like being there for you, respecting your boundaries, maybe if they have more time to study something, or like Joseph was talking about learning the stock market and learning how to do trades and stuff, and he was like, I want to do that. I go, if you want to do that, you can learn that, and then maybe we can do it together. But I don't have I'm not.
Yeah.
I just started this other side hustle, so I don't have time to be a stock trader.
Yeah.
But I think just supporting us and making sure that we aren't going crazy, or if for example, me, I go overboard sometimes and just am too much, and I need to be told to stop or calm down because I put my all into things and I care. And sometimes I think that is being able to tell me that and love me enough to understand and identify that.
Yeah. And I know Mike helps me emotionally. Mike helps me financially when he can. He has helped me big time. I gave the example of getting a whole new roof installed on my house. But I think the biggest thing too that he does is he helps his friends and families with their young ones when they start getting into trouble or things like that. He talks to them and he, mentors them, and he gets on the phone and says listen, I'm here because I made really bad decisions when I was young, and I thought I was big and bad, and I thought I didn't realize the consequences of my actions. And he has those heart-to-heart conversations with his friends' kids, his family, his own nephew. He'll have those conversations, and I think that's something as well. Take it from me, as somebody that I'm separated from my family, and it's really hard. And I want you to know, what path you're going down, because I was there too.
Joseph's been that voice before for family and friends, and just been I know you think you're big and bad because maybe you spent a weekend in jail, but let me tell you that prison is not where you want to spend any time. So,
and listen, if you don't have money for a lawyer, get ready, because they're going to throw the books at you. You know what I mean? you know, if you're not coming from a very affluent area of town, or a good family with money to pay for a lawyer, they will throw
And if you're
every
PTSD,
charge. Yeah,
yeah,
every
double up.
charge and the max at
Yeah.
you. Yeah. So I think they can help by just being a voice of reason, a voice of experience. They can support you emotionally, because I know, like you said, we typically go straight to financial. And you know, if somebody can't help you financially, doesn't mean they're not of value, and they can give you lots of insight on things that you may not have thought of one way. I know Mike does that for me. I know Mike does that for a lot of people. Like, I didn't think of it that way, but okay, you know, I see your point. You know, so just different perspectives of emotional support.
The next question I have is, what is one of your favorite moments with your husband, either in person or virtual? It's so hard because I have so many, but
Yeah.
I feel like for me, I have this one memory that comes to mind of when it was probably like our first or second family visit, where we were super, super comfortable with each other. And we both just have like this very like, we almost like turn into kids when we're around each other, where we're like our safe, like childlike self, where we're just like goofy and funny, and like we just are both like that, and we accept each other. And like one of the family visits, like we were doing this game where I was like trying to like run from him in the little apartment and like get away, and it was like literally so goofy and so much fun, because like after he had caught me, we just like laid on the bed and we were just like staring at each other, and it was just like surreal. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
being able to like have that feeling and like go back to like that safe space, like childlike behavior. I don't know. I love that, and I love how Joseph gets like that around me, like how he gets to be like his like goof. Like I'll look over and he'll be at like the fridge and he'll just like be doing like a goofy dance, like, and I'm just like, you are so like I love you.
Mm-hmm. To have those like moments where like, you don't get to see that every day either.
Yeah,
You know?
and you know that they don't get to do that
Yeah.
in prison ever. So it's
They
like,
can't be that person
yeah.
around out when they're
So I
back
look at
there.
him and I think I remember the one time I cried at the family. It was probably one of our more recent ones, and he was like doing that, and I started crying on the bed. And he was like, "What's wrong?" And I was like, "I was just thinking about how you never get to like be like this or do that." And it was like, you know,
Yeah. I love that though. I think mine, I have a lot too. I hate doing this because I feel like it should be an in-person moment, but for me, it wasn't an in-person moment. It was actually during COVID. And if you went through COVID, the entirety of COVID with your loved one, God bless you. It was very hard. I didn't know if I could make it through not having visit. And obviously, Mike and I got into a moment where I just was doubting everything. I was doubting myself. I was doubting if I could do this, you know. And one of our songs that we always sing is "You Are My Sunshine." And he just got on the videogram, and I just started thinking, like, here's this man who's been deemed by society the worst of the worst, the harshest place in the world, death row, right? And here he is singing "You Are My Sunshine" on a videogram. Now, granted, you've seen some of my videograms. Mike does some crazy shit on videograms. Funny stuff, right? That's usually his MO. But for him to just sit there and sing "You Are My Sunshine" for 30 seconds on a videogram to make me realize how much he loved me and how much I mean to him, it was a moment I'll never forget. And I put it on Facebook, and I'm like, here's a man like you think is this horrible person, and here he is. He's showing how beautiful of a person he is, you know? And sometimes those little things like that, okay, sorry.
no, for sure.
Sometimes those little things like that means everything. Like I didn't need words. I didn't need a talk. I just needed
Him.
love, like the verb of love, not words, just the action of doing something to show me how much he loved me when I was feeling like I couldn't do it. You know what I mean? Sorry. So
That song, especially too, with you guys, like
yeah,
all
that's our
of it.
song. That's
All
our
of
song.
it.
So to me, that's probably, I know it should be an in-person moment when
No,
we're
I love that.
hugging but that to me is the most memorable.
That's beautiful.
So sorry, woo.
Oh my gosh, if anyone else has dramatic sad stories, please share them in the comments. I love to make myself cry and read sad stories. I'm that bitch that like looks up proposals and watches them.
Oh yeah.
Just so I can cry.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying those God behind bar videos of the kids running. Oh my God, I saw one today and I just started
That's what
ugly
that's what I
crying.
thought of as soon as you said like the God behind bars. I was starting to think about all because they do stuff with like where they do father daughter dances and stuff, and I'm like, so are we gonna sit here and call these kids embarrassing and gross?
Yeah,
Anyway, I'm stopping.
I know. No,
I'm not getting back into
get
it.
it, girl. Get it, girl. Get it, girl. All right. Well, we're very salty. Sorry, but sorry, not sorry. I mean, I think we have a right to be.
Yes.
So, all right, we do have a speaky pipe,
Yay.
and I'm gonna see if it's anonymous. It is not anonymous. This is by Erica, one of our wallers, who I love dearly. Hi, Erica. All right, giving her a shout out. Thank you for this voice message, and I have not listened to it, so I'm just gonna play it.
Hey Paige, hey Gigi, it's your girl Erica. I don't have a question, but I just wanted to say I am very, very grateful for you ladies. This life has been very hard, but it's also been a blessing. Being a prison wife is definitely a lonely journey. But listening to you ladies, talking to you ladies, definitely makes me feel like I'm not alone in this. And it's a really, really good feeling. I'm very, very grateful for you guys. And I love you guys very much. But I just wanted to say, just thank you. And I am forever grateful for you guys.
How did she know that we needed to hear that?
We
right
needed
now?
that. Yeah,
Like, is she psychic?
she is. She's brilliant. I love her.
You're
She's
psychic,
funny.
Erica.
She's beautiful. I love her.
Thank you.
Thank you, Erica, so much for that. You don't know how much those words were needed, how much those words mean to us.
That's why we did
and-
that. That's why we created this. And I'm so happy that we have a community in a space where, although we continue to be demonized or talked down upon by other people, where we created a space where we can all feel safe together.
Yeah.
At least one place,
Yeah, because those places are few and far between.
Clearly.
because of mainstream social media and the way people feel about prisoners in this
Clicks,
country.
views, anything.
Yeah.
It's all about money. No one really cares about people's feelings or, humanity.
Yeah. But that was something we needed to hear. So thank you so much, honeys. We love you. We're glad that you're here with us. We're glad that you found us, and all the people that are coming in our inboxes and saying, I listened to the podcast and I'm so glad I found you guys. Like,
It makes
we
it
have
worth,
a
it's all
beautiful-
worth it. It's
It is.
so fucking worth it.
and we're going to fight. We're going to keep fighting, and we're going to keep pushing to change people's minds, educate people, and break the stigma. I know it can't be broken completely, but we're going to try and put cracks in it as much as we can to tear it down.
We're going to use our voice and our mini platform, which isn't as big as some other people's, and just try to keep getting people to understand that everyone is more than their worst mistake.
Yep. Well, we love you guys. We will be putting out a meme of the week. Promise. We kind of like just lapsed a little bit last week. But we did post, Billy the goat. Where is Billy, by the way?
He's over
Billy
there.
Batty.
He is.
Okay. And we actually ought to caption the picture, even though it was kind of fuzzy, but I did get some funny comments. But we love you guys. Thank you for being here with us. Thank you for journeying with us. Thank you for putting your faith in us. Thank you for listening to us. I can't tell you guys how much we appreciate y'all building this community, making this a safe place for others to not feel so alone, because
What
it's
it's all
like
about.
Erica said, it is a lonely journey. It is. It's a hard journey. Not all women can do this, and I think that says a lot about us. We're not crazy. We just love hard and we love big. And it's so big that it doesn't have to be Hallmark or sitting next to somebody that you're on a date with playing on your phone. It can be true love, and it can be big love to break down cement walls and barbed wire.
I think a lot of us are very aware that there are real humans behind those bars with real feelings. There's bad people too. There's bad
Yeah.
people out here. So, it's just because they're not available to us 24/7 doesn't make them any less deserving of love and compassion.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for a wonderful episode, and comment below your thoughts.
Yeah.
We'd love to hear them, and we'll be back with you guys next week for 53.
53. And I promise I'll try not to. Hopefully, I don't have to say anything about anyone else.
Yeah, hopefully everybody can just kind of maybe educate themselves before they talk.
Or stop exploiting the prison industry. Maybe let's start helping it, or do something good in the world, because the world is literally crumbling around us. So yeah,
It is. Very much so.
I'll stop.
We'll love each other, and we're here for you guys. If you need anything, slide into our DMs, reach out to our Speaky Pipe, or go to our link tree. Find us, email us, whatever you need. We're here for you guys. We love you so much. Thank you. And we'll see you guys next week. Love you. Besitos.
Love you, friends.
From my little burned mouth.
My ghostly face. And self. Look at this. Hello?
Oh my God. Wait, stop.
I literally look at, if I could stand next to you right now.
Look at my back. You can
Like-
see it. It's really bad on my back though.
I'm jealous.
No, it's not fun right now. Hopefully it turns brown.
It will. Next week.
Yeah, next week. I'll be a little bit
Stay
more
tuned.
tanner,
Stay
not
tuned.
red.
Mhm.
Bye, y'all. Love you guys. Have a great week.
Bye.
Happy hump day.
This is for the ones who love through the distance, for the ones who stay solid while time keeps ticking, for the ones who hold it down but never lose themselves. This is for the prison wives. Still don't break, love don't fold. I'm still here, I'm still gold. Through the glass, through the gates, ain't no distance make me change. Still don't break, love don't fold. I hold strong, I don't go, I don't wait, I don't beg. I hold it down and lift my head. They don't see the late nights, letters on the table, fighting through the system, just trying to stay stable. They don't see the count days, they don't feel the time crawl. They just see the sentence, but they don't see the love at all. Yeah, I made the vow and I stand 10 toes. Still got my life, still got my goals. I hold it down cause I choose to stay. This love got walls, but it don't got shade. Don't break, love don't fold. I'm still here, I'm still gold. Through the glass, through the gates, ain't no distance make me change. Still don't break, love don't fold. I hold strong, I don't go, I don't wait, I don't beg. I hold it down and lift my head. I'm a prison wife, but I'm still my own. Made my own moves, still stand on my throne. They think I'm just sitting here wasting my days. Nah, baby, I've been building while he counting the days. I ride for my love, I ride for my king, but I ain't no fool, I handle my biz. I ain't weak, I ain't lost, I ain't throwing my worth. I hold it down cause I know what it's worth. Through the letters, through the calls, through the gates, through it all. Love don't break, love don't fade. I'm still here, I'm still brave. Still don't break, love don't fold. I'm still here, I'm still gold. Through the glass, through the gates, ain't no distance make me change. Still don't break, love don't fold. I hold strong, I don't I'm still gold. Through the glass, through the gates, ain't no distance make me change. Still don't break.